So welcome to the SIRCle project. The SIRCle project stands for Social Innovation for Resilient Communities. It's a 3-year project funded through the European Union Erasmus Plus Strategic Partnership Program. And we brought together 8 partners from around Europe, very wide variety of partners. We have a university in Portugal, we have people from Romania, the transition movement in Romania, who work in particular with the Roma people. We have the Global Eco-Village Network, the Fintorn Foundation. We have places in Austria who are the Pioneers of Change program from Austria. We have a wide variety. We have a social enterprise that does wind turbines in Brussels, a wide variety of partners, and we came together to synthesize a new learning journey, a new curriculum. We now call it the Evernear's Journey, which is a slightly odd term, but you will get to know and love it. So the Evernear's Journey stands for evolution and evoking this sense of pioneering spirit. And the essence of this journey is to help people to marry their care for the planet with the ability to make a living, with the ability to thrive economically. We are aware of many people who really care deeply, and who don't find a way to say, how do I translate that care into a social enterprise, or how do I transform my existing organization into something that is more socially, ethically, environmentally responsible and engaged? How do I do that? How do I ground my passion in a sense of well-being on a personal level and on an economic level? So we have crafted a new learning journey that supports people over time. Because the other thing that we really noticed is that there are many trainings that initiate great impulses. Transition trainings, eco-village trainings, permaculture trainings, they're fantastic. And people leave those trainings enthused and inspired to do things in their area, to do things in their communities, in their neighborhoods. And then we meet them 6 months down the line, or 12 months down the line, and they say, it's really difficult. So how do we sustain momentum over time? So we have crafted a learning journey over time. It might take 12 months, it might take 18 months. We can also boil it down to give people a taste of that in 2 days, 5 days, 7 days. But the essence is a journey over time to support and embed real change in people's lives. Why is this necessary? Let's hear from Ian.
Hello there. Several years ago, I was sitting one day wondering how on earth we were going to feed half the population of the world who were now living in cities. I sat, I scratched my head, and I drew on my appreciation of permaculture and biomimicry and sustainability, and I had this idea. It was about growing food vertically up out of the ground in pipes, just mimicking the idea of the shape of DNA. So I had this idea and I thought, oh, there's some mileage in this. I went through the normal channels that are available in Scotland for business development. And I managed to get myself onto a business development course, which was highly thought of. It was award-winning. You even had to pitch to get onto it. I went through this process. I was given £4,500 at the end of it. I then went on to work with a university. But ultimately, it had lots of the kind of nuts and bolts that were needed to help somebody run a small business, but there was something missing. There was no heart in it, there was no soul in it. And I was sitting through this process, and I felt I was the only person in this group of entrepreneurs who really had sustainability and this need to do something positive rather than just make money. I felt essentially I was a round peg in a square hole, and there was all these bits missing. So I tried for several years. I spent all my money on it and I exhausted myself on it. I've not quite given up on it yet. I've been involved with the SIRCle project largely by helping to edit and upload the patterns, the information that we're hoping to provide to people that will give them the tools that they need. And my experience has been, oh, I've never heard of this before. That sounds interesting. Oh, this bit over here, this pattern, the dragon dreaming, or different ways of raising money and empowering yourself to raise money. What it's done to me is, it's like the round peg in the square hole, those little bits at the corners that somehow were missing and that weren't enabling me to really carry through with the process. I just feel that this has the potential to square that hole. And as we went through the learning journey, so much of it was just, I recognised that I'm there, I've been there. It was a much more kind of human approach to the whole thing, although it also had all the technical, the business canvas model and all of that stuff. So for me, it just seems like a much more rounded and holistic and hopefully powerful way of energising and helping entrepreneurs of all ages to try to move forward.
Yeah, and I'm gonna walk you through this journey, a little bit, a taster of the journey. So every journey starts with a call. So we call this first stepping stone as answering the call or igniting that fire. Why do I want to start this journey? What is my longing? Then there is a moment that we need to cross a threshold to say, yes, this is where I'm going. This is the journey I'm taking. And it's also a moment to sense the direction in which I'm going to move. And then there is a moment to find the rhythm. So to see, embrace the diversity, find other people, find allies, and sense the rhythm in which we are moving in this journey. I'm starting to walk like a toddler. And then, of course, there is this moment of going out there for the first time, like a pilot, and exploring a little bit the landscape. And then there is a moment in which, everything is stuck. And I can't move out, this can't be right, my project's not working, I'm having personal processes, and there's despair, and I want to quit everything. So this is the moment of the dark night of the soul. And then after passing the dark night of the soul, there's a miracle. There's this magical flight, there's this moment in which everything happens, suddenly everything works out. And then after this magic moment, everything comes together and we're starting to prepare the harvest, gather the harvest, express the beauty. And then we're ready to share this and celebrate with the community, launch my project, and then finally come home. And this last stepping stone is also the first one of the next level of the spiral.
So you can get much more information about what this journey looks like on our website. And each of these stepping stones, of course, has quite a lot of detail attached to it. So there's a place where we look at how you arrive into that module, how you leave the module, how you work on 3 levels, the personal level, the collective level, and how these things come together to really serve the world. And our curriculum, we call it a pattern language curriculum, which means that it's not a set curriculum that says we go from A to Z. No, there is a journey, but of course people might arrive into the curriculum, into the Evanirs journey at any stage, and they will have different needs. So we have created over 200 of these learning patterns, and they are windows onto deeper knowledge. So each pattern has a particular format. It has a title, a subtitle, a photograph, an inspiring quote. What is the challenge that this pattern seeks to address? What might the solutions look like? And then some references. And so anyone can dip in and say, actually, I'm in my dark night here, and what I really need is to do some grief work, for example. Then they click on something that says grief work. Here's a pattern as to how you and others might come together to do that. So we are not so much teaching as enabling people to go on a journey. And these patterns are also uploaded into the Global Ecovillage Network Solution Library, where there are hundreds of other patterns. So it's a vast array of information, of patterns, of learning opportunities that we want to unlock and ignite through this learning journey. And if you want more information, please join us on the journey. Please do recommend this to other people who you know, who you feel might really benefit, maybe particularly young people who are unemployed but have a sense of their purpose. And how do I bring my purpose into form? Maybe people here in this auditorium who say, how can I transform the organization I'm working in into something that is more sustainable and more filled with passion and purpose, evolutionary purpose at this time? We are running tasters in all the 8 partner countries in 2016, open days, 5-day taster programs, and We would love you to spread the word if this feels like it ignites some of your passion also. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.